Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Sports Report. We are back after a 2-week break. We are back. Right now, it's just me and this dickhead right here.
Go on, buddy.
Not much, man. How you been?
How do I sound? We're doing some weird phone stuff here.
It's actually not too bad.
Okay, good. I'll make sure and talk loud like I usually do to cover any discrepancies.
So we're going to jump right into some NBA because I think the championship is going to be decided tonight. So we're going to jump right into your segment.
Great.
So will Denver win tonight?
I mean, I think it doesn't really matter if Denver wins tonight or not.
Yeah, I mean, to come back from 3-1.
Yeah, they're clearly just a better team. If Jimmy Buckets pulls it out now, it is the greatest title of all time.
Oh, it is. If he pulls it out after this, yeah.
Right. Yeah, this would be the greatest title of all time, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be the Joker. Saw that meme the other day where he's actually the Joker.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, never has a more Gumby shaped, non-athletic.
Very. I saw a statistic the other day that said that Jokic's phone down.
Bad. Phone down. I don't do this usually. Sorry.
I saw Stephen A talking out of his ass like Stephen A does, saying that Jokic is not what did he say? He's not a post guy. He's not the post dominant guy you want. And JJ Redick's sitting there and he's like, do you know the most dominant post move in the last 10 years? It's a Jokic post. Like, he literally hits that almost every time. I think they said 90% of the time.
I get what Stephen A is saying because I think they have two different definitions of what a low post player is. Like Stephen A clearly is talking about like Shaquille O'Neal,
which don't exist in the game anymore.
That's not what it is. And like Stephen A is clearly talking about that, but I don't think that he's, they're just misunderstanding each other. I think because JJ Redick knows that obviously, as post as you can be is probably like Joel Embiid, and he still shoots threes, but they operate from the top of the key or like the free throw line. That's post now. Like operating from the top of the free throw line, making good passes out of double teams, and having like enough moves to get you by. And what? Just being big and like that's a post now.
He said half court post. He's not half court dominant in the post, but
yeah. Nobody plays fucking half court anymore. If you play in half court, your coach is fucking screaming at you to fucking push the ball. Like that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what the NBA is now. So I mean, he's the best. Like Jokic is just such a product of this moment for the NBA. Like I'm not saying the guy's not freakishly talented because he really is. To be unathletic, basically, like he's a good athlete. He's 7'1" or whatever. He's huge, so he can move for being huge, but he's a terrible athlete compared to, you know what I'm saying, like a 6'5" guy in the NBA. So that just shows you how skilled he is. Just like Luka. I mean, Luka Doncic is bottom third of the NBA in athleticism. But just makes up for it with just being smart and just having that fucking that mature, as Colin Cowherd would say, having that European League fucking style to them where they're just everything goes slowly for Jokic and Luka Doncic. They both have like, they just never are in a hurry, and they just, they get to where they want to on the floor, and then they just make the right plays. And it's literally, it's kind of what LeBron James did, except for LeBron James was like, a little bouncier as well. And it was good. It was great in transition, but like LeBron James was like that too. He just kind of takes his time, top of the key, pick and roll, like kind of does the whole like, oh, make that side pass or whatever. So
I would say that LeBron is kind of who brought that style into the game. Like he was kind of one of the first I know that's not technically correct. I would say he made it prominent in the game.
He definitely made it like like it's a normal thing now.
Yeah.
Like he like just regularized it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you had guys. Yeah, Chris Webber was a guy who could do that from the top of the key. And Chris Webber was even a little bit more in the post. They threw it to Chris Webber in the post sometimes. But he was kind of the same thing. Like Chris Webber, excellent passer, 6'10", power forward by, on the stat sheet, but probably plays, every position. That's just like Chris Webber was ahead of his time. He was really ahead of his time. Chris Webber would be a fucking perennial all-star today. I know he was good back when he played, but today he's the perfect build for it.
He played for my Rockets. Webby.
He'd be like on Draymond Green.
Well, since it looks like, if it doesn't end tonight, it ends tomorrow night. So it looks like the NBA season is coming to an end, which means the next season is beginning. The draft is this week, right?
No, the draft would be. Is it in between the? No, it's after the finals.
Yeah, maybe
definitely after the finals.
Week. Maybe I'm thinking next week. I just saw that Spurs doing a watch party at AT&T to watch them pick the number one.
Well, we know who they're going to pick.
Wambi. What did you think of Portland looking to trade their number 3? They're trying. I've heard, and I think I might have heard this from you, but I heard they are really, really wanting a championship team like this year for Lillard. Like they're willing to do whatever it happens or it takes to get a championship season this year. So they're willing to trade their 3rd pick for a star.
Right. If you're in Portland right now, you're in or you're out because Dame Lillard's got probably 2 more prime years left.
Maybe.
And they're going to try and use especially with the style of play. He's not a big guy. He hasn't really been injury prone. I wouldn't tag that with him, but like he's definitely fragile. More like Dame Lillard's a dog, and I wouldn't ever say this to his face, but I think he's a little bit more like fragile. It's a little bit more like fragile.
I think we've had that discussion before that players now, especially in the NBA, are just more fragile, period.
Yeah. And especially, Dame's definitely got his money, and Dame can sit up there all day and talk about how he wants a championship for Portland and all this stuff. But like,
he got his money. He got what even though Dame is one of the few guys I feel like has some sense of loyalty. He's been there his entire career, and he would absolutely love to bring a ring, if not a ring, a good run into the playoffs to Portland before he's done.
For sure. And make no mistake, Dame Lillard is loyal, but at the same time, he got a long-term deal from them now. He's stable. That literally just makes you go, oh, it's like I'm stable. And you're like, there's no more. Like for a lot of guys, yes, there is, and that's winning. And I think Dame Lillard, that it is a little bit about that. But like, it's hard when your everyday life is way better when you go home, instead of like when his first couple of years, he's fighting for like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I need titles, and they'll get me more money. And now he's got his money, and it's like, it's hard to really keep motivated when you go home and your life is that much better, and it didn't change a goddamn thing on the court. You didn't win anything, and you're already like, oh, okay, it's kind of like I won something. Like I think AD.
I mean, AD does have a ring. But
I don't think Dame Lillard is near as bad. I don't think Dame Lillard is near as bad. Like, I think that he actually does want to. Like, I think he likes the people of Portland. He's invested. Like, if they get deep in the playoffs, you're gonna get fucking 110% out of dog Dame Lillard. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if they don't make it, it's not really that big of a. It's not as big of a deal as it used to be to him.
He loses a bonus.
That's about 1/92 of his contract.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. Maybe 100th. So he's not,
You think anything exciting is going to happen in this draft? I mean, there's a potential there for Portland to trade with someone. Wait, actually, let me back up. Let me back up on that a second. Who is that? Which team benefits most to make that trade? And who would they give up to trade some star to get that number 3 pick?
It's a good question. I haven't really thought about it because I hadn't heard. I mean, I don't think I told you that because I hadn't really heard that until today.
No, you told me the something else. This I've seen on Facebook, and I know the Rockets are potentially interested, but I don't feel they have any star power to give up to get that pick. No one that Portland would be interested in, especially just to move 1 pick.
If this, I'll give you like a dream kind of weird hypothetical thing. If Scoop, what's his name? Scoop, is it Scoop? Of course I can't think of his first name is Scoop. He's going for the draft. He's going to be 2nd or 3rd pick.
Yes, that's who you said at 4th would be a good pick for us. Scoop, I can't remember his name.
Yes, we'll just call him Scoop because that's pretty much what people would know by anyway. But yes, everyone knows who we're talking about. I believe. It's some random Scoop from Tallahassee State. No, I'm just kidding. The only surprise in this draft would be if Wembanyama
doesn't get picked first. Yeah.
And that would be probably the most shocking thing that's happened in the NBA for at least a season and a half because even
more shocking than Zion, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Oh god! Wow, even more shocking than a Denver Miami fucking NBA final. That would be more shocking than that. Like, let's get to it. Zion.
So yeah, Zion fucking Williamson knocked up a porn star
from a dude who we get nothing from.
Nothing. Literally has not done anything in the NBA in like 2 seasons.
Saying that, like, because dude, okay, so the flashes are what keep people around for Zion Williamson. He played like 35 games in like 2 years ago. Like he played like 35 games. Dude is legitimately one of the most dominant. Like he reminded me a lot of like a little Shaq that kind of works from like just inside the 3-point line, basically. Like he's just his raw athleticism and how fucking huge he is, which we know how big his dick is now at this point. But we can legitimately. Yeah, looks like a baby's arm holding an apple. No, but he's a tripod. No, he
Oh, it's a fucking tripod.
The tripod. But like he was just the flashes that he has shown as a pro are fucking freaky, dude. Like we're talking 25, 12, and like 7, like all the time, every game. And yeah, he was going nuts there for a while. So that's why he still stays, because he's going to come back, and I think eventually he will be a good player, honestly. I think that he'll be all-star caliber. But like, will he ever be like flashes we saw? Probably not. But he's doing too much fucking.
I actually, before we talk about the drama, I actually saw something Charles Barkley the other day pleading with him, saying if someone knows him, I don't know him, but they should show him this. Pleading with him to lose some weight. And not from a mean standpoint. It was the same thing. I can't remember who he said it was. I think it might have been Steve Nash, or someone came to him after his first year and told him, you got to lose some weight. You've got to. You're not going to sustain this level at your weight. And he did. And Charles says he would not have been the player he was had he not. And we've talked about on this show, one of Zion's biggest issues, and yes, I love the big guy. He's dominant. But the reason he stays hurt is because his body is just too big to be jumping around and doing things like that. This coming from a guy who's 6'4", 260 pounds. Like,
yeah, if you were to ever get 45 inches off of the floor on a basketball court and land,
I would not be getting back up.
ACLs. You're tearing a couple of ACLs. There's an ankle in there. fucking Liz injury. There's a lot of shit happening.
Shit, I could be lucky to jump 2 feet off the ground and not break something.
2 feet. 2 feet's a good vertical.
Okay. Sorry. A foot. Half a foot.
6
2 inches. 2 inches.
I like it.
About the size of my penis.
You could jump your cock off. Do you know the elephant is the only mammal on the planet that can't jump? By the way, that's a fun fact.
I did know that. I did know that.
Yeah, pretty widely known one. Still a good oldie but a goodie. You know.
Mr. Pinball, we are ready. We are excited for you tomorrow. We are excited.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to be on that show now.
Yep, Mr. Pinball joining us tomorrow. It's a rare occurrence, everybody. If you're not watching Fight Night, you should watch tomorrow night. Mr. Pinball.
He literally is like the chemistry maker. Like he,
oh my God, yeah.
Like, yeah, who's that music producer? That's the dude with long hair and shit. That like big old beard. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Fuck. He managed Eminem. Jimmy Levine.
What is it?
Jimmy Levine.
No.
Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, the hippie dude. He does hip hop. He does hip hop albums.
You're not thinking of Khaled because he don't have hair.
No, he's a white guy. Does hip hop albums. Hippie like a motherfucker. Gray. Dream, you know what I'm talking about. Hold up. Where's our research system when we need one?
Shit.
Damn it. Fuck is going on right now?
But yeah, Zion, he's just too big. He needs to probably drop 20, 25 pounds. I mean, that might be pushing it.
No, it's probably all right.
The thing is, the first thing that's going to be to go bad to like where it could end his career are those goddamn knees. Coming from someone who has knee issues already, and I'm only in my 30s.
Or the Achilles, the ankle,
or the Achilles. Yeah, that ankle is weak.
Yeah. Those big guys, because they all got feet, and every one of those bones in their feet are about the size of a fucking thick lighter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? They're just fucking huge, and like they just have put a lot of impact on them. Yao, obviously, one of the biggest examples. Yao
literally had to have surgery on his fucking feet.
His feet probably hurt so fucking bad right now.
Oh
dude.
my God.
Today, like fuck. Like how does Brett Favre get out of bed in the morning? Is really what I would like. Shit like that. For real, that dude took a fucking beating. Like, and you know. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Zion though reminds me of David Boston. You remember David Boston?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. David Boston was taking the glucose treatments. I've told the story before, but anyway, dude was just juicing like a motherfucker. His muscles were way too big for his tendons and his ligaments and stuff. Like they were just way too big, way too much impact. You can't be that big and do those things. Like it just really shows you a lot to how freakish of an athlete Zion Williamson is. Because like that doesn't happen to a lot of guys that you're that big, but you can still move that fast enough that you can injure yourself before. You know what I'm saying? So like it says a lot about, and it's an unfortunate thing about his athleticism, like that he's that freakish. Like it's almost like he got over freaked. But yeah. So dude's a stud. His knees, yeah, I gotta go first. But yeah, he's just not gonna be able to stay healthy, obviously. Plus he's fucking
I was gonna say he's just so worn out. Just so worn out.
Some dicks fuck too much. Fuck when it's there are 3 kinds of people in the world, Gary. There are dicks, there are pussies, and there are assholes. All right.
So the porn star he knocked up is Moira Mills, from someone who spends a lot of time on Pornhub. I've never heard of her, but
wow, no namer. I'm gonna look her up. Not even a joke. After I heard that, I was like,
but have you seen this? There have been 3 other women to come out with alleged things after this.
But all of them are just that he's banging them, right? There's no like
there's been no harassment charges or anything like that. It's just he fucked me. Which
that track baton's making him fall in love, becoming an issue. Basically.
That baby arm, they just like, oh, keep giving it to me.
I'm holding an apple. It's like a wet tube sock filled with sand.
I heard I heard someone say this is one of the craziest things that ever happened to the NBA, and this is what I want to remind people. Remember that Steve Nash didn't know that his teammate had slept with his wife until that motherfucker's baby came out of his wife. It was Steve Nash, wasn't it? It was Steve Nash.
I lost a lot of that story. Was that a Steve Nash story?
It was. I think. I swear it was Steve Nash, but yes, it was one of the commentators talking about how everybody's saying this is one of the craziest things that happened in the NBA. We forget that Steve Nash didn't find out and that his wife was sleeping with his teammate until that motherfucker's black baby came out of his wife.
Yeah, that's a good one there. That's and that's like, and that shit didn't really become that fucking known either.
No, it didn't.
So yeah, I mean the craziest public thing, like, do you guys remember the brawl at the Palace of Auburn Hills? There's a fun fact for you. These guys got into fights with the fucking fans, bro. There was people throwing folding chairs from the stands during a game. Like, yeah, so no, this is some pretty mild shit. Oh, dude, an NBA really rich guys fucking like 7 different women. Hang on, let me wait here. I'll wait for anybody to be surprised about that.
You actually, since we're talking about this, I saw another TikTok clip the other day. It was, might have been Reddick or someone talking about how do NBA players keep their side pieces and their flings secret, because they're all out there doing that deed when they're on tour. And he said, you know who's actually the worst? Major League Baseball players.
Oh yeah,
because they're usually in a city for 4 to 5 days at a time.
Yeah,
and he says that those dudes will run through some bitches. Also, saw a thing the other day that I doubt it's a thing anymore, but starting pitchers, when they weren't pitching that day, used to drink in the fucking bullpen.
100%, dude. Drink, especially the starters. I've heard fucking really fucking funny, like Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine stories about them fucking drinking and playing poker in the clubhouse, like while the game was going on, and like betting on the game and shit, like betting on the game, like while they're in the middle of it. But that doesn't really count because you're just betting with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like they were all betting each other and shit, like on the game that they were playing in technically, but obviously they knew they were play. But they'd just be wasted. Max is fucking wasted. Just fucking, yeah. So that shit's fucking funny.
Remember, but the guy said there was actually a dude. He wasn't starting that day, so he'd been in the bullpen drinking, and it was a playoff game or White Sox champion. It might have been 05 when the White Sox went all the way, but he ended up getting pulled in and get the save, drunk off of his ass, and they actually showed a clip of him getting the save, and you could just see this dude is fucking wasted.
Yeah. Just fucking sweating his ass off. I was like fucking Bush Light and shit. Yeah, I could see that. That's an interesting fucking story though about that's interesting. Like the 4 or 5 days thing. I didn't really have to think about that. Like they get time to like establish relationships.
Yeah,
and then like they don't have to go back for like 3-4 months, and it's like that would just, good God, I can't imagine.
Well, and we've talked about.
Who isn't dope? Josie,
I'm sorry.
You know who's a perfect human being?
Who's
he
that?
wasn't doing that. Aaron Judge. That's who's not doing it. He's very happily. Give his dog.
The John Carlos the ass Stanton's out there like a hoe. He hoeing it out.
Just girls and boys. Girls and boys.
I'm telling you, that man never gave me a shot. That man ever gave me a shot. Woo!
That's it. Oh, I'm completely straight, Josie. And that man ever gave me a shot. That man ever gave me. No, but like, yeah, we always talk about that shit. Like, there's some fucking weird shit going. Like, you'll just regularly see Anthony Rizzo, dude, in the Yankees dugout, like just tapping, like just holding on to dudes' hands and stuff while they're just doing the gayest shit ever, and they just think it's hilarious, dude. Like he's I'm like, yes, that's fucking hilarious. Because then you can just formulate stories that are hilarious. Like Rizzo is Aaron Judge's bitch. They do like some weird stuff. Like Lefty, they call it Lefty. No, that's terrible. But yeah, Zion, can we get out of that man's personal life, please?
Well, and weeks like this is I wish we were still doing After Dark, because this is one of those things that I feel like, yes, I get it. He's a celebrity. He's a public figure, but he knocked up a woman. Like, it's not anything like he didn't beat her. He didn't rape her.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then she's going on Twitter and shit and like tearing his ass apart. Like, just she's the one making the publicity. But can you hear me?
Unbelievable. Look at this. Went to the headphones.
What the fuck?
Isn't that weird, dude? I did. Yeah, not switching anything. Haven't left the screen. Yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous that we're making a big deal out of this when if it weren't the fact that she was a porn star, this wouldn't even be news.
And it's like they're just throwing it out there so that everybody can judge him on some moral basis. And it's like, fuck off, all of you. Like, how many people would probably not like having their fucking personal life just thrown out there? It's like, hey, he's fucking these 5 different women and do not like. Come on, dude. You wouldn't like that shit out there. Like, he's a fucking public figure, but like, why are you telling us all this so that we can judge him in some moral way that we have no fucking room to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand what it's out there for. Like, yeah, we get it. I was actually kind of guessing that Zion was probably fucking multiple different women. I think we probably guessed it on this show. Like, what is it? It's so surprising. Yes, one of them got pregnant. Imagine that. He probably doesn't, probably doesn't practice the safest of sex because I don't know.
Zion Williamson all about that pullout game.
Apparently not.
That's why they call it game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
And he's been winning for a while. He's been winning for a while, so it's time for him to catch an L. Bill Goldberg up here, man. Think about how long he was doing that. I mean, since he was 17 probably. Since his games were played on ESPN.
Easily. And we've said it multiple times, like celebrities and athletes, and as someone who is polyamorous, like you would be amazed at how many of those couples are or practice some form of ethical non-monogamy or open relationship or swing or one of the many different things. Because in that type of lifestyle, I just don't believe monogamy would work. I just don't believe it would.
It does. It does for some guys. It does for about half of them, I would say. I'd say it's a good number.
Really?
Because like, a lot of them.
You think half?
Yeah. Okay.
And that includes they're not cheating?
I'll put it this way. The good relationships, like the ones that you consider like normal, I'm not saying good. I guess good's the wrong word. But like the ones you consider like normal as far as like monogamous or whatever, they're good if they cheat like once or twice. Once or twice a year, probably. Okay, right? Okay. For real. And like, so that's probably the good, like, that's probably the good ones, but that's not good isn't the right word. But like I'm saying, like, because
the most normal.
It just depends on lots of people. The most monogamous, like every day, what they would say people are supposed to do. I love that fucking term. I'm supposed to do this, Josie. It's like, what? What? You mean supposed to do that shit? Said who? Said who, Josie? That's my question.
I don't know. All right.
Crickets.
Will is about to be jumping in here soon, but we're going to go ahead and move into some baseball.
Yay.
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints.
All right. So we are just about a month or so out from the All Star Break and what I consider a halfway point of baseball. It's been a weird season so far. Like the fact that Tampa is still and I know you say it every week, Tampa is a good team. But to be where they're at right now, I'm amazed. I thought at some point they were going to have a little implosion and come back down to earth.
After a 14-0 start, though, I mean, they've fallen pretty far.
They're still number one in the league, aren't they?
But by 8.5 games, but by 8.5 games in the AL East, the AL East is creeping down their neck at this point. Like they've been up as much as 14 games, I think, something like that. Like it was a lot early in the year. It was a lot. So they've actually fallen back a little bit from where they were at, but they're still, like I said, they're a fucking awesome team. The AL East is just stacked. Like
it is.
Boston just beat fucking New York in a series, and they're last in the AL East. So like, I mean, anything could happen in that division. That division's fucking crazy. That's not the AL. That's the AL beast.
Yeah,
not the AL East for sure.
Really is. Me and my dad were talking about it because my dad is a worry wart when it comes to like the Astros, and he is constantly looking at the record now and look at where they were this time last year. And I'm just like, why? I don't understand it. They're 37-29, which in the AL West right now, they're second behind the Rangers, who, holy fuck, shit. That's surprising as fuck.
Their roster's good, bud, and that's minus Jacob deGrom. So like they have deGrom too. So if he comes back at all, I mean that's a fucking lot of goddamn Tommy John surgeries. But yeah, they signed deGrom to a long deal. So like they don't even have him, and they're still fucking Nate Eovaldi on their pitching staff's really good. Aroldis Garcia, or what is his name? Adolis Garcia, not Aroldis Garcia. Sorry. Was leading the league in RBIs for a little bit. Their offense is fucking scary. Like Corey Seager, still a Ranger, right? They got that new kid, Josh Jung, who's a rookie. He's going to be a stud. So left-handed hitting third baseman. So yeah, that team's fucking loaded, man. You might not win that division. The Astros are going to make the playoffs, but that division, the Rangers might take that division because they're talented.
I'm hoping for right now we're 5 games back. But this is the issue. In our last 10, we're 4-6. We can't get on that's the problem we've had this season is we can't get on a really good run.
Right, you broke up there for a second, sorry.
No.
Sorry about that.
No, we just can't get on a run. We can't get a good momentum going. We just lost a series to fucking Cleveland, who's second in the Central with 31-34 record. Minnesota is winning.
That's not. That's not.
They are. They're a young team, but they do have some guys coming up. And I do respect Cleveland, but it's just like Minnesota is leading the AL Central right now with a 500 record.
Yeah, the AL Central is terrible. The Royals still in the basement. Just kidding. I know they're still in the basement.
18-47.
They're always there. 18-47.
18-47. They have lost
David Glass.
They have lost 9 of their last 10.
Don't make me take it out on David Glass again. I'll do it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's Fountain Sharp.
He is late, but he is here, if you will, baby.
Late, but still great. It's your boy.
That's your
boy, William D. Morgan. What's up, everybody?
And Will,
you don't ever give Josie those good intros.
Yeah. Dan, I get complimented all the time when we have guests about how awesome my intros are. Like, I do great intros.
Yeah, they are good.
Yeah. Josie does.
I didn't get one at all, so that's fine.
When there's just 2 of us, I don't do intros.
Well, take me back out. Wow,
but I'm here.
It should feel like a one-on-one conversation.
About 10 hours a day, I'm here.
Mr. Morgan, you missed us talking about Zion Williamson's dick.
Okay.
And he just goes crickets just immediately. Yep.
I did it just for the crickets.
You want to hear all that?
He's been playing a couple times.
But
yeah,
I will say though.
Don't act like it's not true though, Will.
But it is true. This motherfucker 22-year-old messing with 30-year-olds. 30-year-old thoughts.
But Will, the fact that we're out here talking about the man's sex life because he knocked up a porn star, why? He didn't assault her. He didn't rape her. It was consensual. There's no reason we should be talking about this.
Yeah, it is. This because he hasn't played.
Well, I mean,
Am I lying?
no, but it's you can lay on your back and fuck. It's a
Of course.
little hard to play the NBA on your back.
But that's the fucked up part about it. I mean, because if you look at it, you got the money to get the bitches because you're in the NBA. What's gonna happen when you can't continue your NBA career? Where that money gonna go?
We had that discussion though too. We both think he will play again in the NBA.
He gonna have to now. He got that baby coming.
Um,
And there's
Yeah.
video, and there's already videos out there of him showing people taking videos of him at McDonald's, just eating. He ain't like me. I'm just a regular motherfucker. But you are a pro athlete. You can't be eating shit like that. You can't be.
well, and we also got into discussion. I just saw a clip the other day that Charles Barkley pleaded with him to lose some weight,
But you know,
and
Charles Barkley,
it wasn't from a point of like hate or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
He used himself as an example
Oh, yeah, 'cause
because
Moses
Nash told Charles to lose weight back in the
Moses
day.
too. Moses was the
Mobley.
big person.
It
Mhm.
was Moses.
Moses Malone told him
yes,
too.
that's who it was. That's
You
who it
fat as
was.
hell. You need to lose 50 pounds, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what he did.
And Charles will tell you that saved his career. He would
You
not have
cannot
had the
tell me.
career.
If it wasn't for Michael Jordan, that man would have won a title on that Phoenix Suns team. That was an awesome shit. That was an awesome Phoenix
Didn't get
Suns
old.
team.
Wasn't Barkley on the Rockets championship team? Wasn't he on the 94, 95?
No,
Never won a
he
title.
never
Or
won
did
a
he
title.
come?
He didn't
Did
won
he
a title
come?
with the Rockets. No.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
he must have came out right after.
He
You
didn't
talking
win
about-
one with anybody.
You was talking about that Clyde Drexler team.
Yeah, Hakeem and those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Smith.
By the way, Hakeem the Dream.
Hakeem the Dream, Clyde the Glide, Kenny the Jet Smith.
Fuck Kenny Smith.
Mario
but-
Ellie.
Damn, he done brought up Mari. Damn, he done brought up Mario Ellie. Damn. Vernon Maxwell still smoking crack in the back to this day.
He
Yeah.
deserves his props, Will.
Yo, man, you
Most-
man,
most of the
look,
crack
you score, look, man, you score 25. I got this crack right here for you, cuz.
Back to baseball though.
Hey, y'all talking about my Mets suck. The hell you talking?
Well, we were talking about the AL real quick. Dan, someone in the East is gonna be fucking pissed because they're gonna have like a 500, 600 record and not make the playoffs. Literally the worst team in the East right now is Boston, who's sitting at 500.
I feel sorry for Tony.
I
I
kind
really
of
do.
wish he was still on the show. I'd love to
I
hear
feel sorry
some.
for him. I really do. I mean, you know, he loses Frank Clark to Denver. He loses Chris Paul. And now Boston is in last place. I feel for you, brother. Now you know what a true Mets fan feels like. And we damn well near in last place too.
If the season was to end today, this would be your standings for the AL.
The hell happened?
You hear me?
Dan gone.
He's having audio issues. He's on his phone.
Oh,
Probably
I got you.
back on here. So if the season was to end today, you would have your AL wild card would be Tampa, Minnesota, Texas, Baltimore, New York, and Houston. The NL would be Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Arizona, LA, Miami, San Francisco. And yeah, your Mets 31 and 35.
35. Mm-hmm.
They are 2-8 in their last 10. Jesus, dude.
This crazy bad right now. Crazy.
That is almost as bad as the Royals, who are 1-9 in their last 10.
It's crazy bad, and I don't see them. I don't see them coming out this spiral no time soon either.
Is Verlander still on the IR, or is he pitching?
I think he's on IR. I think so.
Man, I'm telling you, the Astros got the good end of that stick, man. I'm glad we didn't re-sign him.
Yeah, mess up here trying to make shit happen with trash.
Sorry. But yeah, the All-Star game is next month. So I mean, you're coming to that point where yeah, Dan's working on it. He's got no power, so he's working off his phone. He'll be back. But yeah, not a whole lot to talk in baseball just yet. All-Stars voting will be coming to a close in the next couple of weeks. God damn it. See who's leading right now. So right now, for the American League, your catcher would be Adley Rutschman. Your first base would be Vladdy. Second base is Marcus Seaman.
What?
It's Simeon, but it looks like Seaman. Man, Jose Altuve is the runner-up for second base. Marcus has 707,000 votes. Tuve is runner-up with 360,000 votes. Your short start would be Bo Bichette, third base Matt Chapman, outfield Aaron, Trout, Alvarez. Alvarez looking like my only Astro that's going to make it. And then the DH would be Shohei.
Right.
In the National, you're looking at Sean Murphy, Freddie Freeman, Luis Ariza, Orlando Arcia, Nolan Arindo, Acuna Jr., Mookie Betts, Uriel, and JD Martinez.
Okay.
I do like Mookie getting it since this is his last. He is retiring after the season. I think he is. I could be wrong on that. This is why I need Dan here. God damn it, check me on my facts. But yeah, All-Star game is in
what, 2 weeks?
It's in July. Or no, shit. No, you're right. Yeah, it is in June. It is 10 days from today.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's voting. Voting ends 10 days from today.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's mid-July. Yeah.
Cool.
But real quick, Will, you think Miami's got a shot, or is the championship over tonight?
Miami always has a shot, particularly when their backs are against the wall like they are now. They always have a shot. But right now, Denver's up 83-79, but they always have a shot when their back's against the wall, so we'll see. They overcome an 8-point lead early in the first quarter. Had a brief lead. Now Denver looked like they're trying to dominate and take control, but we'll see. Like I say, I had Denver from the start. Not from the start.
You did say Denver in 5.
Mm-hmm. I think Denver in 5. I really do.
Well, that would be tonight. They would need to win tonight.
Tonight it's a 4-point lead, so we'll see if they can hold on to that lead.
5 minutes left.
Yeah. If they can hold on to it. But Denver is a good team, and I'm glad to see that they finally got in there. And I've said this before, so people can actually watch them play. They're well coached. Yeah, the coach is a little bit of a crybaby, but they're well coached. They are like precision with their 2 stars, and then their bench players come up big most of the time. So they're a good team, and I'm glad to see them back. And you know what Miami is? A bunch of overachievers.
Jimmy fucking B, man. Jimmy fucking B.
If their threes are hitting, they're dangerous. And you always got to wonder, and my thing coming into this series,
The dick is back, ladies and gentlemen. The dick is back.
And the thing with me, with them coming into this series, could never hang with that intensity, and they're doing their thing. So,
Holy shit, Dan. It's really creepy. You can only see just like a little bit of your face.
he look like a crazy psycho stalker in a fucking horror movie.
It's a lot. It's live from beside the fire.
Looking like Bray Wyatt. Looking like Bray Wyatt.
I'm literally in my backyard.
Looking like
literally
Bray
in my
Wyatt.
backyard right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got
Bray
to
Wyatt in the fun house.
talk about this for a second. Mr. Dan the Dick has been without power for a fucking week.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. I'm sitting out back in my fire pit right now, just like lighting a fire, styrofoam cups. Best fire starters ever.
Damn.
That's true.
Free
Just
tip.
don't breathe the fumes. Don't breathe the fumes. Right. That
Try and stay away from any enclosed areas with them. Yeah, no enclosed areas. Anyway, sorry, but my reception broke out. I was like, go outside is better.
So I pulled it up, Dan, and I talked about it with Will, but you have more to add. So I was looking at the All Star voting, which ends 10 days from today.
Yeah.
So right now, if the in the American League,
can I guess?
Yeah,
Shohei.
catcher.
Okay.
Catcher American League.
No, I'm just saying like Shohei the leading vote getter.
For yes, for DH.
Wow. For DH, just that's it though. He's not like a leading vote getter at everybody.
I mean, he is the leading vote getter out of everybody. But that his position would be DH.
Right. Yeah, I'm just saying like because the Japanese always show up for the voting polls for sure.
Actually, I'm sorry. That is wrong.
Leading
vote getter out of both American and National League is Ronald Acuna Jr. He has over 1 million votes.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, Ronald Acuna's having a fucking MVP year right now. Ronald Acuna was on pace for 70-50 or something stupid like that at some point.
So right now,
yeah, he's having a great year.
Your catcher for the American League would be Adley Rutschman. Your first baseman would be Vladdy. Not surprising.
Yeah.
Second base is Marcus Seaman. Seaman.
Old Marcus Seaman.
Seaman.
Just floating along.
So second base for the Rangers, Dan, he's got just over 700,000 votes. This runner-up is Tuve, who hasn't had a great season, has missed a lot, and he's only got 360,000 votes.
Yeah, the voting is stupid. That's what I was going to say for MLB
really
All Stars.
stupid.
It's stupid because it's fan voting. So fan voting is always stupid. The NBA was letting that go on for a while until somebody fucking had, who was it? Tracy McGrady start an All-Star game when he hadn't played a game that year or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was like, okay, well, maybe that's not how we should do it. So they split it up, but Major League Baseball doesn't do that. They just let fans vote. So Shohei's going to be number one. And then, yeah, just a bunch of guys because not enough people watch enough games to actually know if these guys are all-stars or not. They're just voting off names at that point. I think there is a writer's portion of it or something, but...
Yeah, I'm actually reading.
Yeah, I think there's a writer's
as
portion,
a reminder,
but
there are 2 phases to voting now. Phase 1 includes on June 22nd, and the top 2 vote getters at each position then move on to Phase 2. The winner of Phase 2 is selected to the All-Star starter at his position. So
I'm glad they started doing something like that. That's good they started doing something like that because
I do like that it's not totally fan voted because I do agree with you. The fan votes skew things a lot, especially like that right there, where you have one guy that almost has 1 million votes and another guy that doesn't even have half.
Right. Who was the starter at second base?
Marcus Seaman from the Rangers.
Oh yeah, that's actually legitimate.
It's
That's a
Simeon,
legitimate hitter.
But
Simeon, I know. I'm aware, but I just thought it was hilarious. You were saying Seaman. It looks like Seaman. Super sperm.
Your shortstop is Bo Bichette. Third baseman Matt Chapman. Outfield is Judge, Trout, and Alvarez.
Those all seem pretty legitimate.
The designated hitter, like I said, is Shohei with 924,000 votes. The runner-up is Brandon Belt of the Blue Jays, who only has 205,000 votes.
Heat up by one guy.
Oh, heat up by one? Heat up by one.
Yeah. I've watched one game of the NBA Finals.
Damn.
I was like, I wanted to be like, yeah, well, I'll watch all the games because I'm an NBA fan. It's just not good. I'm sorry.
It's
just not good basketball. I knew it wasn't gonna be. And I just want to know the reason why I don't think why I don't think it's entertaining. It is. There's something about it. I don't know. I hate to sit here and say that it's Jokic, but I think a lot of it is Nikola Jokic.
Damn, man.
Like, I don't know if his style of play is just not entertaining. And I don't think I'm the only one on this.
No.
I understand.
I've heard pundits say that exact thing. That he's just not exciting.
For true basketball fans, it's exciting to watch Nikola Jokic, I guess. But like in this big of a fucking like moment, it seems weird. It seems like almost like he should just be like a regular season. Like, oh, did you see Nikola Jokic at 10:30 p.m. last night when everybody's going to sleep, dominate the fucking Warriors or something like that? Like, yeah, like that's what it feels like, and that's what these finals feel like. And Will, I'm sure you disagree, but that's just what it feels like to me. I don't know.
I thought it's been good.
Yeah, you saying kind of haphazardly, like, oh, I thought it'd been good. It's been pretty good. Is like telling enough for me that you don't like it either.
Miami's up by one. I mean, these are two good teams, well coached. Can't really complain about it.
Do you think it would definitely be more exciting for sure if it was Denver and somebody else, though, right?
No,
I disagree with that.
Miami deserves to be where they are.
I'm not saying they don't deserve it.
I
just think
that.
it would be a more exciting game if it was Denver and somebody else or Miami and somebody else. I think those two teams together just don't equal the most exciting finals.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be because it does seem like that. I don't know if it's just maybe we're used to LeBron being in the finals.
Maybe that's it.
So much,
because I just keep thinking how awesome
we need opposition.
Repeat. I just keep thinking how awesome a repeat from
a Lakers Heat
bubble would have been. Yeah.
It would have been so much more interesting because people are so much more passionate. Yeah, people are so much more passionate about fucking the nostalgia of like the Lakers. The nostalgia is what of LeBron James now. Like it needs to be there needs to be something like opposition. Like everybody likes Nikola Jokic.
But it's good.
Everybody likes him.
But it's good to see two teams. Miami haven't been there in a minute.
Miami was there 3 years ago.
That's why I said a minute. They haven't been there in a minute. And Denver's never been. So it's good to see these teams go at it because you haven't really seen had never really seen a series like this before. It's not down dragouts. I ain't got no problem with it. Maybe because I'm used to 80s basketball. But that's what this reminds me of. It reminds me a lot of 80s basketball. 80s and early 90s basketball.
I can see that.
Where any team could win the championship.
Yeah.
Before super teams.
Right.
Well, and he's talking about style of play though too.
And style of play too. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about style of play though too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it was more like technical. There was more technicality to it. Quite honestly, it wasn't as free flowing. And it doesn't make it worse basketball. It just makes it way different. And I understand why people like that kind of basketball, honestly, because that's like, I don't know. It's back to the roots for sure, a little bit. So
Pierce. Mm-hmm.
Popovich likes that kind of kind of offense.
Yeah.
Kind of style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But but also I was going to say, like, I think part of it is like in sports, people like the long-term things that happen. Like, oh, this is the third time they've been in the finals together for 5 years or whatever. Or with LeBron, like, love him or hate him. Like, that was kind of the thing, was like, oh, he's in the finals again. Kind of like a Tom Brady type situation where he's in the Super Bowl. It makes the Super Bowl more interesting just because there is a lot of, when you start getting into GOAT conversations, there's a lot of passion. Clearly, we've
Yeah,
figured that out.
Yeah.
And like, or
Yeah.
not even doesn't even have to be GOAT conversations though. It could just be dynasties. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Right.
Patriots, like the dynasty things. Like people like dynasties even though they don't like to admit it sometimes. I think, and people like things that run over several years. Like that's why
Mhm.
Lakers Heat would have been good for me, you know, and things like that. So like that's probably why it feels like it's not as exciting. Like the basketball itself, not dogging on it. It's just like it almost uninterests me because of the teams that are in it, and that's just a fault of mine. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's like that's kind of a thing for a lot of people is like they need to be like super, like oh this needs to be like a fourth rematch because we've gotten so spoiled over the years.
Well, the thing about it,
So-
then you do have your Cinderella. Miami did come in as the 8th seed.
Oh yeah, I
we
mean
do
they
have
would have
this
been the
level,
first. They would have been the first 8 seed to go all the way had they done it.
Yep.
I think it's
Yep.
about over. There's 45 seconds left, and Denver's up by 2, or 24 seconds left, and Denver's up by 2. So,
3.
3.
Mhm.
up by 3, so they're gonna take. I think they're gonna win it no matter what, but they're probably just gonna do it
I mean, and it's good for basketball because remember, but we were complaining in college football, Alabama and Clemson, always there. Got old, got stale real quick.
But
So
Will, I think
now you
people
have
said that
two
they
new
didn't like it. I think people said they didn't like it, but I think they liked it. I think they watched it at least.
Mm.
Whether or not they liked it or not, they definitely watched to see what was going to happen when all those teams were in year after year because, you know, they've won this many years. They've dominated. Like everybody almost wants to see, unless you're an Alabama fan or you're a, you know, whatever fan, you want to see the fucking, the champion get toppled, basically. Like the dynasty
Right.
fall, the destruction, or you want to see the dynasty, you know, if you're a fan of that team or one of the players, you want to see that dynasty fucking flourish. So it's like there's a lot of passion on both sides when this is just random. I feel like that's why it's
Right.
getting shit, basically. Yeah.
I agree. All right, so we're gonna
It's like,
move.
it's like Fox
And we go,
News, Josie.
and we go, and now we're counting down not only to the end of this game, but we are also counting down to the end of Shannon stay with Skip Bayless.
That was going to be what I brought up next. Is there a chance that Skip is done?
No.
No.
I don't know.
I think my issue with it, I think the thing with Skip, A, that man making too much money for you to just send home. And B,
the higher
like
ups are gonna well, and this is the thing. I saw something the other day that said the problem with Skip is that the higher ups over there have made him think that he is just the absolute shit.
Jonathan Coach said the same thing when he was over at ESPN.
That's actually who said it. Coachman said, and they're going to do the same thing with the Shannon thing and make it in Skip's head that it was Shannon's fault.
And it would.
And it wasn't. Where do you think Shannon's ended up? Is he going to ESPN?
I don't think he'll be part of that roster. Stephen A. Smith already said he'll have him on that roster. He won't be there every day because he likes to rotate that roster out. But I think that's where he'll end up.
You don't think they give him his own show?
He got his podcast.
Club Shay Shay, they pulled that too. That was a Fox show.
I heard that Shannon owned that, and
he does, but he has to. The only thing he was using Fox resources.
Right.
Yeah, they won't
Yeah.
distribute him.
Yeah, distribute
They
him.
won't
Yeah,
disseminate
So,
him.
yeah.
He from some
disseminate,
kind of
right?
basis, he will have to start over. Not
Hell,
really.
you can do that shit at the house. Hell,
Yeah.
we do that every
Right.
day.
Honestly, I loved it.
Duh.
I enjoyed watching.
We put that every fucking day.
I enjoyed watching Club Shay Shay more than I did watching him and Skip.
And if you watch, if you watched Undisputed, I love Jen Hale. I don't know how long Jen Hale's gonna be there, but they're up here talking about some Shady McCoy is gonna be Shannon Sharp's replacement. Fuck that. That won't work because
I don't even know who that is.
because when Shady McCoy is a running back for the Philadelphia, used to be a running back for the Eagles.
LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah. He up here talking about some damn, he's gonna be the one to take Shannon's place. He better not be. He gonna get his ass eaten up.
I was gonna say,
Go back and watch him on Speak. His takes are stupid. There's no rhyme or reason for a take. Like here, if we have a take, we have to explain our take, and most of the time, we explain our takes pretty well based on facts that we know. Shady don't do nothing. It's just this regular street shit. Oh, did you see that you see that sorry pass that Dak Prescott threw? Dak Prescott is trash. Okay, explain to me why Dak Prescott is trash and he can't do
Or
it.
why that pass was sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, or why the pass was sorry. Yeah, I've seen that. You're gonna have to be a bullshit of a bullshitter to fucking deal with Skip, basically.
Right.
And Shannon
That
can
was-
bullshit with the best of them.
Yep.
And if Shannon's saying I'm done, like I go, that was my thing of why I feel like Skip might have been done. Now, if they already have someone in thought for it, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't know who would be willing to sit across the table from that man.
It should be to me. It should be Joy Taylor. To me, it should
That's
be.
That would be a fucking. That's really good.
Because you know Joy
That's a good
Taylor.
idea.
Because you know Joy Taylor ain't gonna take nobody's shit. Now,
Well, why isn't Fox on hiring you, or is that? Isn't there guys who just like do that all day, just like make up ideas like you just had? Like, yeah, we should put Joy Taylor on there. Like,
Joy Taylor
you're
should
a
be there.
fucking
I know
genius.
She was there before. She knows Skip and all the bullshit that Skip would do. She's perfect.
The personalities are perfectly clashing.
Yeah.
I think if you did that, Will, you would have to change up your girl.
Nah, you ain't gotta change George. You ain't gotta change the infinite. What are you gonna change her for? Why?
Just that show has always been those two and a female host.
Don't matter. What man gonna take what man is gonna take her place?
Agreed. Coachman.
Hell no.
That'd be funny as fuck.
Hell no. Oh, by the way, Denver just
Boba
won.
Fett.
Boba Fett.
Shit.
Well, and I know wrong network, but you know who would be an interesting person to put in that seat? Because I watch him with Stephen A. and never taking his shit. JJ Redick.
Reddick's awesome.
Reddick is
Yeah.
awesome.
Reddick's also
Reddick.
he's also super smug.
Yes.
He's like this. He's kind of like, I don't know if he's just clashing with Skip, but like I love JJ, but like I don't know if he's like clashing enough with Skip. I feel like they'd be like accidentally agreeing on a lot of shit.
Hell yeah.
Like, oh fuck, I guess
Hell
we
yeah.
both agree. Fuck.
Yes, we both agree. But you gotta be
Yeah,
strong,
we both
man.
agree. So like, what do we talk about for the next 20 minutes?
But you gotta be strong-willed to take on somebody like Skip every day. You gotta be strong-willed, and you gotta put you. And the thing about it that people don't understand, for that job, you have to put in work
Yeah.
Yeah,
every day.
they're
You
there.
have to
Cannon
put-
said he's up at 3 a.m. every day, does his workout, and then preparation for the show every morning.
Man,
Yeah,
you gotta work.
like
You
It's a lot
definitely
of
gotta put
work.
in work, man.
because Skip's
Skip
working.
Skip even
Skip's
puts
been
in
working.
work.
Skip,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Skip's been working for a while, dude. Skip works his ass off. That's really what it is. Like he talks about how he's fucking just always like sitting there like 11 p.m. when his wife's sleeping, watching games and like writing shit down and stuff. Like that's what he's doing all the time. He's always thinking about that fucking the argument that he gets to have the next day. Like that's what he wants to do. That's what makes it good, honestly. And like he's
Yep.
just annoying. He's just gonna annoy
Yeah.
the fuck out of you with his totally one-sided, no changing
His
opinions.
Brady and Dallas love.
Just
real quick,
biased. Yeah.
real quick. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets for winning the 2023 NBA championship. Congratulations,
Jokic MVP. Jokic MVP.
Jokic.
Remember that part in Back to the Future where the guy comes up to me, he's like, I wish I could go back, put some money on the Cubbies. Like I wish I could go back and put some money on the fucking
on
Nuggets,
Denver.
bro. What was their
Man.
odds before the year started?
Put some money on Miami just to make it to the finals. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think they're probably up there with the odds.
Mhm.
It's a lot to one. $100 would have made you a lot of money today. A lot of money.
Yep.
So
Yep, 1 in 5.
time machines.
And now, you really have to ask yourself a question with this win. Where do you place Joker?
like all time.
Where do you place him now?
And power
2
forwards?
MVPs. Two
Of power forwards?
MVPs. And well, Joker technically a center, but two MVPs back to back in a championship. He did a better job of Giannis.
A little bit above Steve Nash.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's about right for him.
Somewhere in that general area.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we shouldn't freak out. I love Steve Nash. Steve Nash is one of my favorite players ever. But yeah, about there right now.
Terrible
He's
coach.
also he's not done. He's not done.
Nah, he ain't done either. Yeah.
End of his career, we'll probably be saying he's higher than that for sure. I don't think that he can.
What would it take?
There's a lot of down he can go now, obviously.
At this point in his career, Dan, what would it take for you to say he's one of the best to play the game? How many more titles? How many more MVPs?
That I just heard the other day, which is a really interesting one, and obviously I'm on the Dirk side, but Dirk Jokic, all time, and definitely Jokic isn't at that level, but I think that's the type of career we might close to be able to be talking about. Yeah, because he will stay with Denver his entire career as well.
Mm-hmm.
He'll stay with Denver. He'll be in Denver his whole career. He's not leaving now. He just won a title. He's not leaving.
Similar. It's honestly Jokic and Luka. I put to that comparison of Dirk. Like they're very similar, and they stay out of the headlines. They're not flashy. They're not exciting, but they're really good at what they do.
Luka could be not a GOAT, but like that second tier of guys. Luka could be up there with. I'm trying to think of a name that would be comparable. I guess. I think Luka could be in the. I hate to say Kobe conversation, but I think that at that second tier level with like Kobe and Shaq and all those guys of like the best of the best all time. Wilt Chamberlain.
So you're saying within the top 10 somewhere?
Yeah, I mean he could probably be top 10 to 20, 10 to 15, somewhere in that area. Like at his highest, and I'm not saying he obviously can't go out and win 6 titles in a row, and then I still wouldn't call him the GOAT, but we'd be up there fucking with top 5. But
yeah.
Jokic, I don't think has that kind of potential. I think Luka has the potential. He's so young to like. Jokic doesn't have that much time left. He's gonna.
5 years.
I mean, I'd imagine physically he'll start falling apart because his Gumby body. He looks like 6 pieces of French toast that you put together, like French toast sticks, like his middle's of French toast and then all the French toast sticks. Yeah, like Gumby, like a gingerbread man.
The motherfucker can't jump.
But yeah. Can't jump. It shows you so much of how good he is, dude. He's
can't
so
jump
good.
Can't jump and still get double-digit rebounds.
Just using his body, using that booty, his back down game, using that booty. Yeah, so good at it. But yeah, I don't know.
He's NBA champion now.
Good for him. Congratulations, Joker. Your whole Serbian family is behind you now. I don't know what that means. They might knight you or something, or like make you like a Serbian mobster, which I think is the same thing as knighting.
Damn, Serbian.
He comes back next year with like star tattoos on his knees. That means he can't kneel to anybody or whatever.
Damn,
like just some crazy shit.
You think Jaw that about guns? Just put you to Joker being
right. Joker's way more of a gangster than fucking Jaw. Isn't that funny?
Let's go.
Way more of a gangster.
Oh, did y'all see Wayne just tore Jaw apart, just saying that he out here being dumb, trying to say like, look what playing the gangster got me. It got me several years in prison, and like, you not about that life. Why are you
trying to help you? He's trying to help you
doing this.
He is trying to help you.
Yeah, trying to help you, bro. Trying to help you.
All right,
we all are. We all want Ja to not do that because we want to watch him play basketball.
Yes.
I mean, I care about him as a dude a little bit, but like like if somebody was like, hey, I obviously want to watch him play basketball. That's why,
It's what you said, Dan. It's what you said. He's one of the only players right now, an American player who's at that elite level. Like,
besides Zion and fucking.
Oh, and Zion.
In fucking.
Oh, in fucking, yeah.
Not in basketball. Yeah. Zion isn't fucking, not in basketball.
And then after that, it's Austin Reeves for all the white guys.
For all the white dudes. He's out there just balling for all the white guys, bro.
Austin Reeves in the same category as Ja Morant.
He did.
It was a joke.
I wasn't going to say
it. It was a joke.
He was just trying to get for all the white guys.
Yeah, I was just going for all the white guys.
It's so disrespectful for you to say something like that.
Hey, Austin Reeves, good little player.
It's so
good little player.
So disrespectful.
I believe he's still young. I do believe Austin Reeves showed a lot of talent this season, and I'm excited to see what else he could do. I realize he's not actually on the level of Jaw, but that's why Jaw needs to get his head out of his ass.
Yep, I agree.
All right. We're going to move along. I do have a couple of things I want to talk about in Fight Night. And Dan, I want your opinion on something I want to talk about. So we're going to move on.
Hey, I'm gonna take a pee real quick.
All right. So while Dan's taking a piss, Mr. Pinfall was in here earlier, and he's excited for tomorrow's show. Mr. Pinfall,
let's go, Mr. Pinfall. Come on, Mr. Pinfall, let's go. The Moose Killer.
The Moosin' champion of the world, baby.
Moosin' champion of the world, baby. Let's go. Moosin' champion.
So this Saturday will mark the premiere of Collision. So we'll see how that goes. But what I wanted to talk about, and Dan, I hope you're at least listening, the TV rights deals for WWE, the period for NBC and Fox, like their period to just talk to them ended today. So now WWE can talk to other networks about their TV deals that end in October of 2024. I've heard that there is a company that is majorly interested, Disney.
Ugh.
Not to put it on ESPN either, to put it on FX.
Ugh. I ain't feeling it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I ain't feeling that at all. Man.
Well, FX is the same equivalent to USA and NBC. Like it's the same type of channel. Falls almost in the same, like they're almost right next to each other in DirecTV lineup. So Dan, I don't know if you heard that. Oh, God damn it. God damn it. He might pop back in. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about there he is. Would you hit the wrong button?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it just depends on how many Jewish employees work for that wrestling company, because the Disney thing is not going to work out for them very well.
I don't like that, man.
Looking for another job.
Every time Disney get their hands on something outside of its own, out of its own genre, they fuck it up.
Other Marvel.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Marvel fucking up too.
Yeah, Disney has too much to
casting for Fantastic Four. Thing looks terrible.
I haven't seen any of the casting.
I ain't no Donald Driver fan, tell you that.
Oh, you don't like Donald Driver?
He don't look right for Mr. He don't look right for Reed Richards. I
don't know Driver.
I'm sorry? Dan?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, who is Donald Driver?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. The guy he played Poe.
Yeah,
not Poe.
What's his name? Talk on it. Can't think of it.
It's not going to matter to me. I know nothing about Star Wars.
Yeah, he was in Star Wars.
Okay.
But I just don't like that. I just don't like it. I don't think it's a good choice for Reed Richards.
Well, as long as he's not Jewish, it should be fine, right? I mean, Disney not a fan. No. Yeah, but what wrestling? I didn't hear what wrestling company wanted to do that.
So WWE's TV rights deal ends October of 2024, but today marked the day where they are now allowed to start talking to other networks. Up until now, they could only negotiate with NBC and Fox. That passed today, and so now they're talking to other companies, streaming companies, and I heard one of the more interested companies is Disney to put it on FX.
Yeah, if they can get it for cheap and run it through the fucking morality ringer or whatever they do,
you're not going to get it for cheap. Just to give you an example, the deal that they signed with NBC and Fox 3 years ago Raw went for 250 million, and SmackDown went for 205 million.
Yeah,
They're
but
going
I
to
mean, how
ask.
much? How much is Monday Night Football worth? How much is Monday Night Football worth comparatively?
I mean, probably.
I know we're talking about one of the upper echelon sports broadcasts, basically ever, but that's crazy. Got Bubble Jamal Murray. Will
Yep.
they got Bubble Jamal Murray? And
Congrats to the Denver Nuggets.
Turned out that whole thing wasn't a fluke. You know who beat that team in 2020? Will that exact team, like that team that just won the NBA title? You know who beat that team in the Western
Lakers.
Conference Finals?
Lakers.
Yeah, the future NBA champion Lakers.
That was a different Lakers team, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think it was a different either team. I think they're both the same teams, except there wasn't fans.
Well, you had what you call it that year, Dwight Howard.
Dwight
Howard really shit for that team.
He really turned the tide there, Will. He turned the tide in that whole series, that Dwight Howard, because he's always turned the tide in series, especially.
Hey, he over there in Taiwan. He over there in Taiwan doing his thing, boy.
I bet he
trying to get LeBron to come over there.
He's doing his thing with him Taiwan, whatever he's playing for.
I bet he is. I bet he's still bench pressing.
That manager over there already talking about the White need to take a pay cut. Damn, he just played your ass 1 year. You want him to take a pay cut already? Damn.
Well, you know, most of the point guards are actually as tall as his from shoulder to shoulder.
Yep,
right? That's how tall most of the point guards are in the league.
Yeah.
They're as tall as he is wide. So it makes it, his competition level went down a little bit. But I'm sure he's dominating.
He dominating. He's doing his thing. He over there
they play on 8.5-foot rims too.
Hey, then he out there shooting threes. You ain't never seen him shooting no three in the league. He out there shooting threes, dog.
Shooting it right in front of his face. Like it's just it's like a mini jump shot. It's like a mini jump shot. Like he doesn't go over his head or anything. It's just like right in front of his fucking face. Because he can bench press 900 pounds. Will he can't have a basketball? He break that thing.
That's a strong motherfucker. Go see him in front.
But honestly, on the WWE thing, with what it went last time and everything, and there's talk. Nick Khan, their CEO, has talked about moving Raw off of Mondays if they got the Rock deal.
Why?
Bad idea.
It's a bad decision.
Bad idea. They've tried that once in Raw's entire lineage, and it didn't last, I don't think, 2 months.
What day they try to put it on?
There's no discussing. They haven't said that. The thing is, this is the thing.
It failed.
Oh, it was Wednesday. When it was on Spike TNN, it was Wednesday nights. Will Wednesday nights.
Okay.
And you can't go to Wednesday nights now because of Dynamite.
Well, and Hardwood.
And Hardwood.
Hardwood.
Tuesday nights. Raw is synonymous with the Monday night time slot. Like, that is their time slot. SmackDown has moved around its entire showtime. It's been on multiple days. I could see that moving around. I'm not a big fan of Friday night wrestling anyway.
Me neither.
I mentioned your biggest problem though with Monday night.
Well, but WWE Raw is used to that. They're used to fighting with Monday Night Football during the season, and they only do that for 17 weeks out of a 52-week year.
True, but you're also going to lose that fight 17 weeks out of a year.
Yeah, but they also know that too. They also know that they're never going to beat. Even when wrestling was in its heyday, when they were doing $4 million between WCW and WWE, they still weren't beating Monday Night Football.
Nope.
I'd also like to see a poll where they polled so you watch the WWE on Mondays. Are you also a football fan? You guys are probably in the outlier. You guys are probably in the outlier part of that, because I think
because neither of us watch Raw.
Well, no, I'm saying but you're both wrestling fans. But you're both wrestling fans who also are football fans. Yes. I think that's probably kind of rare. Yeah. I think that a lot of that's just my observation. Yeah. So I think probably
I don't know if you're that unique. I mean,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
What percent are fans of both?
I would think I would say it's at least 50%, if not more, because most wrestling fans are just sports fans.
Sports fans, period. Yeah.
Period. They just like sports.
Yeah.
Okay. I really didn't know. I don't know that many WWE fans.
And there is a lot of crossover between wrestling
hell
and
yeah.
sports. Like a
Hell
lot
yeah.
of like
Of
George
course.
Kittle is a huge wrestling fan. Kelsey,
It is a
like
sport. It's its own breed of sport. It's its own thing.
It's
like it
all
is sports entertainment.
well, as we say
So
on Fight
so is every
Night,
other sport.
there's two yes, and there's two types of wrestling. You have WWE, which is sports entertainment, and then you have everybody else, and that includes AEW, Impact, New Japan, everything else. That's pro wrestling. Even though we talk about them in the same light, they are two very different things, and you can see that if you watch the shows and how they're.
Pro wrestling is a sport with like a lot of nuance, if that makes sense.
Oh yes.
So like there's like a lot of nuance to it, things that you have to just like understand before you even watch it. And as long as you have that general understanding, then it's it's entertaining. It's like that, and yeah, it's got a lot of nuance, a lot of things that
It goes back to what I've said many times: is that you have to. I don't like it when people call it fake. It's not fake. It's choreographed. It's predetermined.
Scripted.
It's scripted.
Which I don't think is.
Those guys are still putting their bodies on the line, and wrestlers tend to have more health issues than basketball players and baseball players combined. I won't say football because I think football is one of the more rougher sports to play in general. That's not like MMA or boxing.
Both here and abroad. Rugby got it rough too.
It's kind of like a testosterone ballet.
Rugby ain't got no damn pads.
That's a good one. You know what it is? There's a great example, Dan. It's a testosterone soap.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a testosterone soap opera. Now, that's what WWE is. And I've said this the past few weeks on Fight Night, Will. AEW is trying to make it more of a sports base. I tell people if you're going to watch AEW, you really need to look at it more as like watching basketball or baseball. A match doesn't necessarily need a backstory just to happen. They'll have a match just because it's a good match and then build a story off of that.
Right. Exactly the same way you would do in baseball, where the game is the first thing. The game, who wins the game is the first thing, right? That's what's most important. And then the stories build off of that, where I feel like WWE gets a little bit too head over feet about the story and makes the win or loss of the match meaningless.
Honestly, that's the problem with what I call WWE marks in general is they're used to a very American-based style way of wrestling. We are the only ones that do it that way.
Yeah.
In Mexico, Japan, and everywhere else that pro wrestling is popular, it is looked at more of a sport.
You actually kind of win-lose. Actually, there's like it's not as predetermined as it is in sports entertainment in the United States.
Well, in like New Japan, they do what's called strong style, Dan, and they kick, they hit, they choke, like nothing is pulled. Now, certain moves are done a certain way to not hurt people.
Right.
But if you get locked into it, you're in it, and that's just a commitment you're gonna have to make because you made that mistake. Yeah.
And you're gonna take you're gonna take a fist to the face. You're gonna take a kick to the side, like.
Right. It's almost like an RPG game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like you just go out and like that's the predetermined move, and then you just go. But if you get stuck in it, then you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But that's interesting.
I could see SmackDown and you think it's out of the realm of possibility that they get 300 million plus for Raw and 250, 275 for SmackDown? Especially, you also got to think about the merger. The TKO merger goes into effect.
What?
I think in October.
October, November?
I think that's what I heard is that it'll become official in October.
Mm. It's not outrageous because of that merger.
And Dan, if you don't know, that's their merger with UFC or the parent company of UFC.
Now they're Endeavor,
yeah.
Endeavor.
That'd be interesting, like a UFC WWE crossover.
Oh, it's already in talks. It has already been talked about. The moment it was announced, Conor McGregor got on Twitter and called out Roman Reigns the moment it was announced.
Conor McGregor would beat the shit out of Roman Reigns
Yes.
in an actual octagon.
Oh yeah, he'll whip his
Conor
ass.
McGregor
He'll
would
whip
beat the
his ass.
fuck out of Roman
He'll
Reigns.
whip
I would
his
love
ass.
to see that.
All of the UFC guys,
He'll
if you
beat most of them. I think people like back in the day anyway, because he's in Impact now. But Santino trained MMA.
Yeah.
MVP trains MMA. He'll have
MVP's more Muay Thai,
he's
but
more title, yeah. But
that's MMA.
you know, it'd be those two guys who will probably stand up to him.
his real name, Dan, Martavius Vontae Porter,
Who?
MVP.
MVP.
Oh, okay.
Martavius Vontae
Interesting.
Porter.
But guys
Is he
like
black?
that,
Yeah, black guy.
of course.
Just a joke. I knew it was black.
Name
I knew
Montavious.
he-
And he,
Name
no,
Montavious.
that is
Name a white man.
that is
Say
a
that.
6'5" white man. That is a 6'5"
He's a
white
white.
man.
He's a ginger. He's white, and his
ginger.
name is Martavius. It's Martavius. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
could have called that one.
But yeah, I think with this new deal and everything, I think they could easily see 300, possibly
Easy.
more. I don't really care. Like today I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, oh, Raw's coming on in 30 minutes. And I'm like, I just
They
don't
have to
care.
they're gonna have
You
to
just
do
don't
a
care.
lot. They're gonna have to do a lot because you got your hardcores, but where your money is really your casuals,
Yeah.
and that's who you need to change your mind and get back to your brand. The more casuals you have in your corner, the better off you'll be. And Vince doesn't understand that shit. He doesn't get it. AEW gets it because they will take a whole show and center it around casual fans who are wondering what the fuck is going on, and then they'll just come in there and start going to events and start watching the pay-per-views because they're hooked into they're hooked into the show.
I honestly think that goes back to AEW's style that we were talking about. The more sports based, you can tune in to an AEW show and just be like, holy shit, this is an awesome match.
Right.
And know nothing about the guys or anything and just be like, but this is pretty fucking cool.
And what's Vince up here doing? Old school storylines and shit like
Right.
that. That don't make no fucking
Nuance
sense.
shit.
Nuance shit.
Nuance
But you done
stuff.
seen back
They-
since the 70s. Shit since back in the 70s. And then it's like at least the 70s, the 80s, and 90s. Look at the roster from back in the day. The rosters are more interesting back then than they
For
are
sure.
now.
100%.
And it also goes to oh fuck, I forgot what my train of thought was going on that.
I was gonna say real quick. Both of my grandmas, so my grandma and my great grandma on my dad's side were both huge wrestling fans.
My
And
grandmother was too.
they didn't know one person who wrestled, dude. They didn't know one person.
Oh, my
It was
grandmother
literally
knew
just
the whole
they just
roster.
enjoyed watching it. Like
Oh,
they
my
just enjoyed
grandmother-
watching it on TV.
My grandmother knew the whole roster of the damn NWA from Madden 2A, Wrestling 1
Yeah.
and 2, the Horsemen, the Midnight. She knew all. Before then. Tommy Wi-Fi, Rich, Dusty
She was a
Rhodes,
fan.
Rocky
She was a
knew-
fan.
fan. Yeah.
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 See, like my grandma's just liked watching it. So like the casual
But-
fan you guys are talking about, that's perfect. Like they actually just like watched it on TV whenever they saw it. They were like, oh, cool.
Because
Like, they
they're
actually
casual
liked how it
fans that want to check it out and be sucked in.
And Dan, was
Yeah.
that like 90s? Was that
Yeah,
like the
probably.
90s?
I mean,
NC?
my grandma was born 26, so she's been watching it probably for like a while.
So,
Probably,
but
70s,
80s
but
and
she didn't like-
90s was the era of the casual fan. And that's why when you got into the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars, they were pulling 4 million views a piece. We will never get back to those numbers. Ever.
Hell no.
Like wrestling will never be that popular ever again. I will say I think
between
right
the IWC,
oh my god, don't get me started.
exactly. But between the IWC and what the watered down product WWE is right now, it'll never get back to that point. Wrestling will never get back to that point. To get back to that point, somebody's got to take the fucking lead. To get
There's got to
back
be
to
a
that
change.
AEW.
What it would really take is WWE opening the fuck up and be willing to work with other companies.
Yep.
If they would do a true fucking forbidden door where WWE would go and wrestle guys from AEW or New Japan or NWA.
Agreed.
That would be insane.
Agreed.
But WWE will never fucking do it, at least not while Vince is alive, because all he cares about is his little installation.
I agree.
The other thing I did remember what I wanted to say. Another thing that's killing WWE is these goddamn copycat belts.
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
so sick of these fucking cookie cutter belts. I was so excited for the new world heavyweight title. It looks so cool. And then you killed it. You killed it. You gave Roman Reigns a gold version of the same belt he just had.
Yep.
And then the new women's titles are just that belt and Seth Rollins' belt in white.
Yep. That's
The
it.
tag team belts are going to be fucking lame. Like, I saw today, WWE hasn't had good belts since the Attitude Era. And I don't necessarily agree that they had some good titles during Ruthless Aggression. I'm a huge fan of the Spinner title. I know not everybody is, but I love that title.
And then the other thing that pissed me off, Oscar just got that title. Who you bring back?
Yeah.
Who you bring back?
Why the fuck is this bitch back on my TV after 2 fucking months and just literally walks on my TV and is giving a goddamn title shot? And the thing that pisses me off the most, she's probably gonna fucking win it.
Yep, that's
because they want her to tie her daddy.
Yep.
Who's that?
Charlotte fucking
Flair.
Flair. Dude,
Oh, yeah.
she's been in wrestling for just about 10 years. She's been on the main roster 8. She's already got 14 world title reigns.
You don't think that that's because they know that draws fans, though? Because she has that last name?
Some people
Oh,
do.
yeah. That was the beginning. Yes, that was in the beginning. Yes, it was because that last name draws fans.
And some people
Still
think Charlotte the GOAT. I don't think she's the GOAT, but I know some people, like my boy Tino Berry on Facebook, he thinks Charlotte the GOAT. I don't think Charlotte the GOAT.
The women's goat?
Yeah. But some people think Charlotte the GOAT.
Not even close.
Not even
Charlotte ain't even in my top 10. To me, of the 4 horsewomen of WWE, she's 4th.
Who's the
In my
goat
opinion.
of women's professional wrestling?
The GOAT of women's professional wrestling of all time or this generation?
All time.
I think that's got to go to Trish.
I was
I
going
got
to say
Trish or
Trish
Lita.
Stratus. Is that
Trish
bad?
or Lita.
I got Lita.
It's a tie for me.
Yeah, I got
Because-
Lita.
And it's also that the fact that their careers were so intertwined. Like, one of the
Right.
things that makes them so good was their feuds with each
I got
other.
Lita. Yeah, and but it's a question, but you really can't question it because okay, you got Trish, I got Lita, but if somebody came up to you and say Mickey James, would you complain?
Probably not, because
No, you wouldn't complain.
if you look outside of WWE, not Mickey James, Gail Kim, Victoria, like those
I
are.
mean, hell, Mickey James was champion of WWE and in Impact. Her impact was even felt more in Impact than it was in WWE.
Oh yeah, if you're talking GOAT of women's wrestling for Impact, Mickey,
That's her. It's Mickey.
hands down.
And it's
No
like
one-
if somebody come to me, hey, Will, I know you got Lita, GOAT of all time in ladies pro wrestling. But if someone says to me, Mickey James, okay, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fight that.
You guys know why it's so much harder to judge professional wrestling goats, though, right? Because there's no actual statistics. Like, there is statistics, there's wins and losses, and there's titles, and I understand that. But there's no actual other legitimate statistics you can bring up to justify anybody's being what?
It is. You can look at the style of match that wrestler had, or that type of match that
Well, no,
wrestler.
those aren't statistics, though, Will.
Yeah.
Those are
I got you.
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like, those are
I
Right.
think more in wrestling than in other sports, even though it does affect in other sports. It's that with wrestling, you almost have to look at in eras, in generations. It's hard to say, because if you want to go back to the 80s, the GOAT of women would probably be Moolah or Mae Young. It's you, and then on the men's side, everyone's going to say the greatest of all time from the 80s is Hulk Hogan. Bull fucking shit. But
Other people down, but people down south, will tell you Ric Flair in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But
Then there'd be arguments for Sting. And
True.
then when you get into this era, it gets okay, is it Cena? Is it Rock? Is it Stone Cold?
it's all about opinion. I mean, it's all kind of opinion based at that point. And that's what I'm saying is like, so here's the thing though, like but I don't think that you can sit here and tell me that, you know, somebody's a better right-handed hitter than Hank Aaron, and I can't just drop 755 home runs on you the whole time and 2,000 plus RBIs. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge part of our argument. Like, I understand that like match style and stuff, the way that they played is a huge thing, but it's also a huge thing when it comes down to like numbers, and wrestling doesn't have any discernible numbers because there's no
wrestling. It's more about it gets more into the character than the actual match.
The nuance.
It's
like
a lot of times it comes down to charisma. Like the GOATs are guys like The Rock, Stone Cold, Cena, Trish, Lita, like because they have so much fucking charisma and they pull you in and they make you interested.
It's like somebody can't tell me, like, in my opinion, Tony Gwynn is the greatest hitter in baseball, but I know other people might say Pete Rose.
Certain style of hitter for sure. I mean, best contact hitter of all time in Major League history is Tony Gwynn. There's not even, I don't even know if there's like a fucking second.
That's not for debate.
That dude has some ghastly numbers. Like there's some ghastly contact numbers to the point where like something stupid like he only got, I can't remember what it was, but something with his strikeouts. He only struck out like 42 times in the season, and that was less than like, I can't remember, less than he had 3-2 counts or something like that. Something real crazy. Yeah, like it was something real weird. And I was like, what now? Like he was struck out like 10, 11 times in a whole season. Like not barely at all. Like, he was ridiculous. He was ridiculous, dude. Hit 370. Like, but I guess with wrestling, there's no like discernible. What are you going to do? Takedowns and like
your stat to say someone's the greatest.
Yeah.
Really, what you look at for greats in wrestling is their career, like how they did throughout their career. Were they popular? Were you interested? Were they? I mean, because you really can't look at championships.
And that's why I say AJ Styles.
I would, and especially for this generation, that's a definite argument. That's a definite argument.
As a casual fan too, I remember a whole lot more of the things that the dudes did behind the mic and like the outlandish shit out of the ring than I do in the ring stuff. Like I remember a couple in the ring things, but not, you know.
Even as a diehard fan, Dan, like more of what I remember are fucking promos, like Punk's pipe bomb, or
that motherfucker mad as hell. He ain't got no ice cream, Bob. Anyway, go ahead.
And MJF's pipe bomb from last year.
Or the one he took from Adam Cole.
Oh my god, dude! Did you see that promo from last week? Holy fuck! He told this dude, Dan, let's go piss in a cup and let's see who's natty and who's not.
Well, I don't know what that means. What's that mean? It's calling him out for steroids. I get it.
Yeah, he called him out for steroids.
Natty's what got me.
Ooh.
Why are professional wrestlers not juicing? That shit isn't even fucking regulated.
WWE, they test for that shit because that's
why the wrestling got worse
in the 80s.
That's why that wrestling got worse, but
I still believe
dudes
do. There are definitely some dudes out there that do juice.
Yeah, they should.
But yeah, that promo, we're going to talk about that tomorrow night, Will.
And y'all can't tell me early Rock wasn't on any type of gear. Y'all can't.
Dude, right now Rock
is. See, this is the thing, Will. I actually am not sure when he was wrestling if he was on the juice because of how big he is now.
Naturally.
At the beginning he wasn't. At the beginning he wasn't, but then he was.
I don't think he got on juice until after his WWE career.
Bullshit. The black. Yeah, the black little whatever you call them, the little spank things that he used to wear with the black elbow pads. That Rock is juiced.
Yeah.
The one before that, Rocky Maivia, probably not. That's actually probably how good of a natural athlete he was. And I don't think he probably did it when he was like in college playing football. But like Definitely after that.
Once he hit that
Yeah.
big time, I think he was.
But-
And if you were, that's fine. But because I ain't
don't
saying
care.
anything about it, but I don't care. But I just think you want juice to that point.
Rock
I think he probably was
now,
too.
Rock now has balls the size of pebbles because he owned that fucking gear.
Well, technically, it makes your dick bigger. If your balls are smaller, just saying. If you think about it.
I'm gonna have to stop calling Ricky
Crickets.
Stark the Pebble. Call it Rock.
Call it rock the pebbles.
Right, you the Pebble.
Rock
Yo,
those rock pebbles. It's like
But
it's like
yeah.
the thing, like the
Rock
thing from
pebbles.
Fantastic Four.
Rock
Thing from
Pebbles.
Fantastic Four. Just a
Wrestling is in a weird time. I do think that wrestling is, to be a fan right now, it's one of the greatest times to be a fan, not including Monday Night Wars. And like I said,
Including your bias?
Including my bias. Like,
Well, I understand though, but understand where Joe
factoring your
is
bias
coming
in.
from. But understand where Joe is coming from because the thing about it, wrestling right now is so open and available. It wasn't
Yes.
like that back in the day. You had
And-
maybe 2 or 3
Yeah.
dominant promotions, and that's it. But right now, you're looking
Yeah.
at like 6.
well,
yeah, I had one show back
the
then.
top 4 right now, the top 4 promotions in the world right now: WWE, AEW, New Japan, Impact.
Yep. And then to back them up, you still got MLW and NWA,
NWA, AAA,
and AAA, and if you're into the chicks, Stardom.
and then
What does
it
rap
goes-
have to do with this, Will? What does rap have to do with this?
And then you get into the smaller promotions. You get into the
Mhm.
CMLL. You get
Mhm.
into Dragon Gate. There's so much.
I'm hearing HDW's coming back.
I've heard that.
Hearing
Too.
that. You need to
Sam L.
bring-
Jackson? You said Sam L. Sam L. Jackson?
CMLL.
CMLL.
He owns everything. Sam L. Jackson has won everything.
But yeah, I am excited to see. I'm a little nervous about AEW's new show on a Saturday night.
I won't worry about
But
too
I,
much. And she
yeah,
couldn't- I won't worry about too much because of the time. Look at the time spot. It's a 6.
well, 6 your time, 7 my.
It's my
It's
time,
7.
7
7
7
10.
my time, 6 yours.
No, it's 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
7
still wouldn't
Central.
worry.
Well, the thing I've seen a lot is
What the
that
fuck you
people
watching
say,
Saturday night when football ain't here?
well,
And basketball season is ended.
what I've seen
Just
is
did.
people go out, people are at the club, people are
they
constant.
be
This
aight.
is the
Hey.
thing, though. Wrestling fans need to get past TV ratings. They don't matter anymore. They don't matter like they used to. Yes,
You can make
for
that money without having
Well,
millions of views.
exactly. AEW Dynamite sits right around about 900 to 1 million viewers every Wednesday. That's about where they sit steadily.
Right.
But
They
they're
sell some ad money.
always, but they're
Mad
always,
money.
they're always in the top 3 of the 18 to 40 men's demographic,
Yep.
which is what they really care about. But I don't watch on cable. I stream my shit.
They care about me. I'm just kidding.
I stream my shit, and I know a lot of people record it, watch it later. Like in the days we're at now, you don't have to watch it right when it airs. You can watch it later, and that's why channels. That's why they don't care that Rampage only gets 300,000 views every Friday night.
Right. Because there's so many other means to watch it.
I usually watch Rampage Saturday mornings. Usually.
You know what classic wrestling thing I remember? Fucking Hulk Hogan driving that red Dodge Viper with the yellow wheels on it. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And there was like
I
that
do.
big thing about him hitting. Who they think he was like hitting or whatever. They thought he hit somebody in the car and they saw a red Viper pull off or something like that. It was a big thing. I think it was it Bischoff or something? You
It
think
was
something with like
Yeah, it was Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff or
It was
Eric
Bischoff.
or
It
like,
was.
Yeah.
It was right before Hogan left.
yeah. So like that was a big I just remember that for some reason. His red because that red Viper was fucking awesome. It was like a
All right,
1995.
guys. What else we talking about?
We're about to head out. My last thing is Will on this. Is Punk? I know your opinion on Punk. I know you don't like him,
Hell no.
but a lot of people have said that he was a failure. His return was kind of a failure, and it was because of his mistakes and anything like that. But I was having this conversation with Stacks. Is there possible that this return saves him?
Maybe.
There's a possibility. You never know with wrestling.
Maybe, but he's a jackass.
Honestly, if he wants to save his career, he needs to figure out how to make the Elite versus him happen. Like, that needs to happen. That's my final opinion.
He's a jackass.
It's going to be an exciting show on Fight Night tomorrow night. Like we said, we got the Moosin champion of the world, Mr. Gene Pollard, joining us. Dan the Dick might even swing in if he's got power.
It's like damn ice cream bar.
The dick might swing.
The dick might swing.
Might swing up in there.
It's going to be a great show. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Collision. We're going to talk more about the TV deal. Talk about Dynamite. And, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Oh, real quick, I did want to say this. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik.
Damn it, that made me mad.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. I will fuck your wife with my 10-inch dick. I will fuck Hulk Hogan. Fuck him and his wife.
I tell you, man.
There was a guy that owned a gas station in WWE? What? It's crazy. You guys are fucking crazy over there.
I tell you, man, the thing I'm going to miss the most from Iron Sheik is his random fuck Hulk Hogan Twitter.
Oh, yeah, that would be funny as hell. That shit was funny as hell. Just unprovoked shit. That motherfucker just talking. The Hogan ain't said a damn word to the motherfucking 20 years. In years, and he still talk shit about Hogan. And you got to give Hogan props on this. Hogan never responded and knew what it was. He knew what it was. That's just crazy. Real quick, while we doing that, happy birthday to the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Oh,
happy birthday to you. I don't care what people say. That was one of the greatest feuds with Randy Orton, because that feud with Randy Orton got us house banging.
And then, dude, real quick, talk about moments. We were talking about moments. His retirement speech in the salmon fucking suit.
I still got it. Y'all thought I was gone. Y'all thought I was done, but I still got it.
Still one of the greatest moments in Raw history.
Hell yeah.
But all right, guys, that's gonna do it for us
tonight. Have you guys ever seen the Hulk Hogan sex tape?
Yes.
You guys watched it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I actually saw clips of it recently because I watched the Rich and Shameless they did on TNT about him versus Gawker.
Yep, just backing into the fucking maids and shit. Like, good God, Hulk Hogan. What? He just thought he could do anything.
Well, he was fucking his best friend's wife because his best friend set it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure he was, and they were both totally fine with it. He made that guy wear the horns of a cuckold, Jesse. The horns of a cuckold.
Damn.
But yeah, make sure you join us for Fight Night tomorrow night. It is going to be an awesome show. I'm super excited. We got a lot to talk about. Y'all have a great Monday, great week, and we will see y'all next week.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Pay your utility bills, everybody. Pay your utility bills. Pay your utility bills.
Walmart and trailer parks. Pure ecstasy.
Walmart and trailer parks. Ecstasy and madness, baby.
Congrats, JJ Watt.
Wow. Pure electricity.